Alright, we're just about to get started on the assembly of the crank case cover, and one of the things I got to do first is I never like to use the shims unless I clean them first. So the technique that I use is I use a Scotch Brite pad, and I use a flat surface, and I will just go holding the shim. I take small sections at a time, and I slowly turn the shim, and it just cleans off any buildup. So I just want my shims to go down as flat and as accurate as possible. And it doesn't take very long to do this. I put pressure and I just pull away, and your shim cleans up really, really nice. And if any of my shims have any dents in them, I'll take them onto a flat metal surface and I will tap them flat. So all of a sudden now you've got a nice clean surface. As you can see, there's grease, a little bit of buildup. So for me, I just like the fact that I know that when I actually put my shims in, I've got accuracy in my thickness of shims and that they're all sitting nice and flat. Alright, we're going to start adding the shims to our end caps. I'm starting off with about 7 thou on either side. And one thing you do first as well is take the O-rings off. Don't put any seals on yet. So we're going to put it on, we're going to set it, we're going to take them off, and we have to, then we'll put the O-rings on. We'll probably be taking this off and on a couple times. And I usually like to put the thinner shim on first, so the heavier shim is sitting on the top of the, or the end of the block. We'll put a screw in, put 2 screws in, one on the two screws in on the top carrier, top cap. Go ahead and you snug those on. And the bottom carrier, there's only 1 screw. Bottom cap. 1, 2, 3. That's good for now. I'm actually going to stick my drive shaft in. And I'm going to bang it to the top. That is easing off my bangs, just to make sure it's there. I'm going to check with a flashlight the top bearing. And it's seated very nicely. So now I'm going to go. Lighting in here is a little difficult, sorry. I think I can do it from this side. And I'm going to take my 9 thou shim. That's kind of what I'm targeting. Put it in my hole here. And that fits just nice. I don't know if you can see in the camera there, but the 9 thou shim fits in there perfectly. I'm just going to see if the 10 fits. Always make sure you clean them off. Yeah, the 10 seems to be fitting in there good too. I'm not sure if I'm going to dilly-dally with this much more. The 11 doesn't go in. By all accounts, this motor is ready to be buttoned up. I've actually got equal shimming on either side. I've had to add 7 thou on either end cap. And I'm going to be in the 9 to 10 thou range. So we should be good to go. I'm going to try again. I think we can get a better view of where we're putting the shim. Bottom of the bearing, and there's a flat surface on the top of the crankshaft. And that's where you're putting your shim. And you're looking for 8 to 12 thou. At least for this particular motor you are. Always check your manual. Alright, we're going to add our gasket sealer now on our crankcase half. I use Loctite 2 gasket sealant, product 30515. It was recommended to me by George Garland and his motor group guys, and I've done 5 motors and this stuff works amazing. I've had no complaints. I put a dab on a piece of cardboard and I use a paintbrush. Stuff is really, really sticky. It's quite a mess. So, and I just paint it on. Now, you don't want to put it on too thick, because then you get so much squeezing out. Alright, we've added our sealant on our crankcase half, and now we're going to just put the O-rings back, and you're supposed to put a little bit of lithium grease on them. Just going to run a little down the channel first. One thing I'm fortunate, I don't have huge hands, so my fingers get into things nice and easily. Loosely place our screws in. You don't want to push it on too far, or else it makes it hard when you go to get the other half on. Just pulled away enough, so we should be fine there. We'll do the same thing with this carrier. I just even push the O-ring around. That way you just make sure you know you've got it well lubed. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on top. And smear that on. There you go, some of the excess That's not on the rubber. Okay, I think that's good to go. And that's the correct way. Check. Okay, so yeah, we won't push that all the way on yet until we get the crank half on. Alright, it's been coated. One last look. It's not on there very thick. And the other thing I also like to do is make sure you plug all your openings for the carb. At this point, we don't want anything to fall into it. Okay, looks pretty good. Give that a little tap. Is I'm just going to start dropping in the screws. Alright, I've hand tightened all the nuts and bolts. So now we're going to do our final torquing. I checked the manual for the crankcase nuts. Your torque wrench needs to be set at 150 pounds. And according to the manual, you want to start in the middle, work your way up, and then you want to work your way down. When you hear your torque wrench have a little snapping noise, you know you're torqued. Then we just got to finish putting the reed screws in and buttoning those down. They get set to about 40 pounds. You actually can't put your reed stop screws in until you torque the other bolts. Just going to do the reed screws now. I'm just pressing these arms down first. They're in place. They're in place. That's it. Just got to bend those tabs and we can carry on with this restoration.